Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes. Brooklyn Props Podcast.
Welcome back to another Brooklyn Props Podcast, the official podcast for BrooklynProps.com, a little website on your interwebs featuring hip-hop photography and phone calls, apparently.
This is actually, you're on the line, go. Joe from Poughkeepsie, go. My Larry King.
But today's episode, we got Mr. Maxwell Berger. He's going to be doing...
Welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, gentlemen.
Yeah. The show topic is poetry. It's not going to be all highfalutin. You know, this is blue-collar poetry.
Blue-collar poetry, I love it.
Blue-collar poetry. But,
Jeff Foxworthy doing poetry.
Before we do that...
You might be a poet,
let's get into some news,
Boom.
baby.
Great news.
Some interesting things on the sort of news going on. Let's start off with Mr. Mama Said Knock You Out.
Hello, Cool J.
LL
go.
Cool J. These ain't
Big up.
Hollywood muscles.
I won't put the pause on him.
If you haven't heard, somebody tried to break into Mr. LL Cool J's LA residence.
Well, they did break in.
They did break in.
They were in the crib.
And Mr. Cool J broke their nose,
And jaw.
and ribs.
And spirit.
And this
And broke his spirit a little bit.
hospitalized, my
60
dude.
now, right?
He put, I don't know, he put paws on him. I'm putting them paws
He
on
put
him.
them paws on him, man. Yeah, so...
Anybody seen that commercial looking like James Earl Jones with like the beanie cap on?
I don't know. I think he's at work done, man. I've talked to many people about this. I think he's at work done, kid. He
On
looks
his
too
face?
smooth. Yeah,
On
man.
his face?
He looks too smooth. His face looks too smooth.
Well,
What is
how-
he, 45?
Yeah, I heard.
Well,
He's got to go to that, but I heard he does HGH.
I mean, he's brolic, kid.
Oh, human growth hormone?
Yeah.
But he
I
was
wouldn't doubt
always
it.
huge, though.
He's on that.
He was always big, kid, but he's another level of, he is brolic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Them
he
ain't
is-
show muscles.
No, those are not for show muscles.
Yo,
Defend your home
shouts out to
muscles.
Jack the Ripper, man. He's getting it done. You know.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Shouts to him. That's something. That's a good look.
Also, not so much on a news item, more a statement. Lil Wayne, I guess, publicly expressed his distaste and saying,
For New York?
"Yeah, I flat out don't like New York."
What?
And then
In
Yeah.
what context?
he said, I don't like New York City.
Who said
Yeah.
It's a shitty place to do shows.
Yeah. So
Lil Wayne?
this comes from, I guess, most recently.
Well, you-
Nicki Minaj was supposed to play the Summer Jam, which is a huge concert in New York, hip-hop concert. And because I guess some
Wasn't it-
people were
a DJ said that she sucked.
talking
Right.
shit. Yeah. Like, but it was also like on a second stage at the event. You know,
Right.
like, oh yeah, Nicki Minaj, Starships, this bullshit. We need to bring Summer Jam back to the real. Which is a point. You know, I'm not going to
Valid point.
discredit whomever said it. But, you know, that is a headliner. Her fans were there, whatever.
Right.
But long story short, Lil Wayne, as head of Cash Money Records, the label that puts out Nicki Minaj, was like, we're just not going to do this. You know.
I think the other reason, too, listen, if I spend 12 months in Rikers Island, I spent about 6 hours in Rikers Island one time to go see a
Yeah.
friend of mine. I might hate New York City, too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo.
Well,
you
yeah,
spend-
Lil Wayne has been arrested twice in New York. I think one for gun possession, both times for gun possession,
I think
right?
it was one of them might have just been Herb or whatever, but they definitely like profile. I mean, supposedly, and I'm sure people have heard this before, that there's an actual like hip hop task force in New York City.
Yeah.
That like okay, Fabulous is playing the High Line. Bung, we know his SUVs. We're gonna pull him over right after the show. They know there's weed in there. There's probably
Right.
a gun.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Which to me, once you hear that, don't have weed and a gun in your
And that is why smart tour managers put their artists in New Jersey.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's a little inside of baseball right there, man.
Okay. Talking inside the clubhouse, baby.
Laws in New Jersey.
No, it's true though. It's true though.
Oh, it's totally different.
If you know you got like a wild ass artist, you put him out in Jersey and you fucking drive him in. That way, like, you know, you don't even get like the pounds on the tour bus and all that shit.
I like it.
Don't
I
even
like
put
your
it on
style.
the traction. You know.
I like
Where
your
does
style.
Lil Wayne live?
I believe Miami.
He's got to fix man.
You know what? I think honestly, I just saw some. I think he sold that condo. I don't know if he bought like another house or something, but he's been in Miami for.
I ran into him on the street.
Yeah, he's been in for a long time.
All right.
The chef Hector's in the building. Just say hello real quick.
In the building.
Yeah.
Heck Dizzle.
On a sadder note, we know that Miss Lauryn Hill has been going through some financial troubles with the IRS,
Yeah.
owing about almost $2 million in back taxes to the Fed. Well,
That's
you know,
rough.
when the federal want to get a little taste, now the state.
Oh yeah,
has
Jersey.
just,
Yeah.
She's been assessed over $440,000
God
New
damn.
Jersey state taxes that
Pay
she
your taxes,
owes.
everyone. Pay your taxes.
So, man, so hopefully she can get through this and, you know, maybe get an album or.
Listen,
I don't
let me
know,
tell you something right
man.
now. When you get that big check when you're an artist, before you go to the jeweler,
Yeah,
go to an accountant
yeah,
and make sure that your shit is official. I mean, I think a lot of it sometimes too is, I don't know how all tour managers work it out in some clubs and whatever, but there are times that like big artists, even if it's, you know, a lot of money or whatever, like they'll go do a show and they'll get 25 grand for playing a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And their managers hands them like, here's 20 grand.
Here's
And
20
they're not
grand.
thinking about like, oh shit, I'm got to pay taxes on this and
Yeah.
1099 it or whatever. They're just like, I'm going to get a chain.
10 of that's gone at the strip club. The other 10's on that
Oh,
chain.
10 at least.
$10.99 is confusing when you make like 20 grand a year. You make
Yeah.
like 20 million a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can get a little tricky.
My thing is like, if you're making 20 million a year, you should be able to figure out a way to pay your taxes.
Yeah.
Somebody
Just
hire
remember,
somebody
like,
to figure that out.
your manager is not responsible for getting you a business manager. If you're an artist out there,
Yeah.
ask your manager, I want a business manager. If they don't know, if they're like, what? Go find another manager.
No doubt. He's like, I manage your business. What?
Fuck that. Yeah, get your financials straight, man. 'cause
Yeah, get your financials
You get that one shot.
Yeah.
Try to make your money off that. All right, let's move on. Mr. Ryan Lochte
Uh-huh.
right now and MC8 are in a little controversy or
Jaya.
confrontation. Yeah, right there. Ryan
Plugged
Lochte
in, baby.
has been attempting to trademark the
Jada.
Compton Most Wanted MC8, what he made famous.
Oh, hold on. This just in.
The little
Ryan
phrase
Lochte was just shot by MCA.
and stuff. I think that's crazy. I think that's kind of
I don't
crazy.
even know who Ryan Lochte is.
He's a swimmer. If you didn't know, he's
for the Olympics.
yeah,
He's the
yeah,
dude who
yeah.
rocks the grill.
He's from
He rocks the grill.
Gainesville.
He
Got
had
the ice
Paul Wall
grill.
make him a custom grill.
Yeah,
He got like a $30,000 grill with the American flag in it.
yeah. He's
Wow, I was not
he's
there.
like into fucking like dunks,
Like dudes with grills. I
and,
know.
like,
I know.
jewelry
what he
and
goes through.
watches and shit. It's
And
crazy,
he wants
man.
to trademark
He wants to trademark Jeah.
H. I think it's Jeaaaaah. Jaya.
Jeah.
He
Yeah.
didn't invent that.
But MC8 is claiming that and stuff, and I'll side with MC8. He's the first person I've heard, you know,
No, he's been saying that forever. You know
that
what
song
I mean?
that
Like
he had
that's
on the Menace to Society soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly. It's the first thing he
Stuff.
says on the track.
Yeah,
Ryan Lochte, you're losing. Get back in the pool.
practice. And I guess the last news note, it's more of gossip and rumor, but I guess it's some inside baseball.
Okay.
Well, it came out like earlier in the week. Somebody was saying some shit that apparently that Jay Electronica and Dead Presidents were doing some ghostwriting for Nas. Apparently.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that sort of came out,
I've
and then
never heard
and
that.
then recently Stickman from Dead Prez answered it. And
Shouts to People's Army.
yeah, shouts out to People's Army.
P-E-O-P-L-E. Army!
Army. Yeah, they getting it
He's my
done.
man Jay Fresh and Bug. Tyre.
He didn't deny it. I mean, he did say I didn't write no lyrics, but he did say that you know during the Nigger album that they were brought in,
That's so racist.
and
I'm not comfortable
and
with
he
this podcast.
wanted them around to like bounce off concepts, hooks and production ideas and stuff. And for a lot of people that might seem a bit strange, but those people like affiliated with the industry, it's nothing more different than like a famous singer, getting like a keyboard player to come in and they vibe around.
You know what though? I'll put it this way, and this is something that came out this week too. This was with sports and whatever. When someone was like, "How's Derek Jeter getting it done?" You can't not rule out maybe he's taking some whatever. He's 38, and all of a sudden he's he's got the most hits in baseball and whatever. For me, Nas is like it would crush my thought about hip hop if someone was like, "Oh, now someone ghostwritten Nas' last 2 albums." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know there's a lot of listen, I know Beyonce doesn't write all her own songs, even though she's a songwriter and writes for other people. But most people have collaborations or whatever.
Yeah.
When it comes to hip hop, listen, I've done songs with people like me and Born to sit around and we'll go back and forth and we'll write half a hook and this and that, and so we'll both write or whatever. But I would never let anybody. I would never spit a verse someone wrote for me. That's just
it's
never
kind
gonna
of
happen.
weird.
It's so weird
if someone was like, yo, here's a concept for a song,
Yeah.
and give me a concept, I'm like, yo, that's a fucking great concept for that song.
Yeah,
and
like
I'll do it, whatever.
chocolate bars, baby, chocolate bars.
There you
Like
go.
chocolate bars and, popsicles.
That's what I'm talking about. That's all that wrong about it.
Cherry, pop
That's
and
kind
pop.
of a good segue into our topic of poetry.
It is a little.
Because,
Look at this, getting
a
it
lot
done.
of rappers.
All we do is build bridges.
That's right.
You know what I mean? To get to the, you know what I mean? Boom.
All right.
Poetry 500 hours.
Yeah, today's topic is poetry. Now, we don't want to scare anybody off. Only one of us is like schooled in that shit, or two of us. Yeah.
Yeah, school would be any definition.
All right. Well, I mean, when most people think of hip hop, and when you hear it sort of like thrown around in academic circles, they always try to bring it. Oh, this is the poetry of the streets. This is the poetry of the youth. And when I tend to disagree with that, not so much today, because I do feel that
because people are ghostwriting other people's stuff.
Well, that and
I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to get it all together, baby.
And let's just say that for me, poetry serves two purposes. It could be one of two things. One, individual expression of fucking whatever, right?
Yes.
And it helps you get the ladies.
Two, or something that's purposeful,
right?
With like there's some intent built into it. And if you listen to a lot of modern hip hop, it lacks either. It's not individual because it's being ghostwritten, or you're just aping whatever popular fucking style is out there.
Right.
Or you're just not saying shit.
And it's not purposeful.
Yeah,
you're not saying shit. You're not.
I got some rims. I got some rims. Check out my Timbs.
Yeah. I mean, we started out with hip hop where there was a very strong, direct connection to like poetry from artists like Gil Scott, Perron. The revolution will not be televised, and the Last Poets. Who have sort of claimed to be the originators of hip hop. Wrong or right. And then over the years, we've had like a lot of narrative traditions and stuff that rhyming and has really elevated the art. But in like the last 10, it's kind of like lyrically, hip hop has kind of struggled to maintain like its evolutionary speed.
I think there are certain artists that are to me are poets. Like the way that they write, the things they talk, like who we were just talking about. I think Nas is that way.
Yeah.
Like Ghost has a lot of that element because he's very kind of like abstract and you know what I mean? Like his shit is very, but then it's poignant. Sometimes he's just talking about whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like cream kicks.
Something surreal, yeah.
And you know what I mean? Some big titties or whatever. I mean, it's whatever. You know what I mean? It's kind of random, but a lot of the time, very poignant. A lot of the words. I mean, I think there are definitely, certain people who I consider poets. Like I'm not gonna say Too Short's a poet. You know what I mean? The player, he's fucking bitches and all that, and it's great. But some people really have like, you know what it is. Like for me, I'm not a poet, but when you hear something, you're like, that's some deep shit.
Yeah.
That's a deep ass song. You know what I mean? Like I would say this, even if you don't consider that song a poem or he's a poet, I'm like, that guy could write poetry, no problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? If he can do that kind of song, that kind of poignant, deep, thoughtful, insightful song, he could probably write poetry.
So I mean, what are some of the MCs that you would consider like really walk that line of like rapper poet and are carrying that tradition on?
I mean, honestly, KRS-One,
old school, new school, KRS-One. Okay,
KRS-One for sure for me. Like Nas. I think most of the Wu-Tang, Sans, You God. Yeah, I just said Sans. I've been reading Ayn Rand. Way brighter than I look, people. I mean, who do you think? Like, throw out some names. Yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
think Talib is definitely.
Oh, Talib for sure, most def.
I like really Lupe. I haven't heard his stuff, but there was that one album with the boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was extremely poetic.
Lupe
Could have done that without any beats at all.
For sure.
Yeah.
I like. Who do you think?
I agree with all that. Like Raekwon, Ghostface,
Black Thought for
Black
sure.
Thought.
Common.
Most.
I think maybe the test is, could you listen to it without the music behind it?
That's true too. Rakim.
Into the lyrics and stuff. Even goofy shit like Cameron shit, man.
Yeah.
Because it's just mad abstract.
Like Chuck D for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chuck D.
Yeah. And I mean, some of those qualities, just like having like the metaphors, but also combining that with the slang. I think that comes from like the oral poetry tradition.
No doubt.
Of a being a regional expression.
I think it's also, you know, knowing how to manipulate, like having, you can get a thought out there, you know what I mean? Like you can actually put something on paper that's thoughtful, you know, whether it's something that's current, you know, culture, when it's, you know, 16 bars on a hip hop, you know what I mean, song or whatever, or it's poetry, like you actually can tap into that, you know what I mean? And especially something that's current or something that's, you know, relevant, you know what I mean?
Well, we got my man Maxwell here.
Yes, sir. In the building.
He's a poet. He's a guy that you know that works on pieces.
MCA's gonna bust through that door.
Yeah, you better watch out, dude. That's $3 grand.
Now you can't go to pools and you can't go to the West Coast.
Can't swim. Don't catch me in your flip flops, man.
Ryan lock these little hook on you, kid.
Yeah. But you do spoken word now. There's the obvious difference that it's spoken, you know, as opposed to written. But what other sort of things?
It starts out written though.
Yeah, I mean, what other things would you characterize spoken word as? Like, if you had to describe it to somebody that has never experienced it.
Oh, how would I describe spoken word to somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is the difference from, honestly, I don't know the difference. Like, what's poetry and spoken word, like, what's the difference?
I don't know that there is like a difference in the definitions in Webster or anything like that, but I've always thought the difference as being one is written specifically for the page,
right?
And one is written for the stage. So on a page poem, you know, where you break up the sentences or how it's aligned on the page might
how it's formatted,
have something to do with how the person reads it. Whereas on the stage, a lot of that doesn't matter for anything. And
it's all the delivery and how you like,
And a big part, I think, part of the thing that makes it better for expression is that you don't have the tools always in the written word to make the reader do what you want lyrically. Like if this certain word leads into the end of the next word, there's no really way to write that and have them read it that way. But when you say it, you can manipulate it however you want.
Can't convey emotion as much. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
also,
you know what I mean? Like the tone of a word,
is,
or like the way you want them to like perceive that word.
Yeah, you can put it in italics or underline it, but it's not the same as
you can put it in dumb bold and put like 72 font. Like,
yeah.
I love this woman.
That's right.
Love her.
So, I mean, would you consider like rap spoken word? Why or why not?
I mean, I think there's a very, very thin line between rap and spoken word, and the only difference I can see really is that one has music behind it.
Yeah.
You know, because one of the rules of spoken word, like all the slam poetry and stuff, is no props, and music counts as a prop.
All right, so whoa. Let's get into it, because I know a little bit about your background. In college, you were captain, right?
I was not captain. I was not captain.
You were a member.
Yes.
You were a member of the spoken word like slam team.
Charleston Slam.
So for listeners that are not familiar with like slam, is it a style of spoken word or?
It is a style and also an organization.
Okay.
It's the IP.
Which came first?
Like that. I think the style came first, and I think from everything I know, and I don't know much about the history, Saul Williams was the original. That movie Slam.
Yeah.
Right. And I think maybe that even spawned the name, or vice versa. I'm not sure.
I always kind of thought it originated with the New York Cafe stuff.
Oh, shit, we got a beef going on now.
No,
All right. Let's figure it out, y'all.
They were the oldest, they're the longest
Slam.
in New York City. And anybody who's in it, Saul Williams, all of them have performed there.
Yeah. But Saul Williams is definitely the most notable.
Yeah. I don't know if they called it slam, but they definitely were doing spoken word before it became big.
Yeah, for sure.
So you started getting into like some of the, so what are some of the rules of slam poetry or spoken word poetry?
All right, rules.
So is that actually, hold on, before you even start that, so is it actually like an event? Like if someone's like, we're going to have a slam event.
Oh, it's official, yes.
Oh, it's official.
So they got a high school league. All these run national and regional.
Is there a ref?
Yeah, the whole shebang.
Wow.
Well, the MC is the ref. And the judges, they always pick judges from the audience.
Okay.
So they got a high school circuit, a college circuit, and then
a pro circuit.
So I did the college team, and then when I graduated from college, I got on the city team, and we did the little pro circuit.
This is
it's
where
the
Charleston?
same rules all the way through, yeah.
South Carolina?
Yep.
Shouts to SoCal.
Indeed. Shut down, whatever.
SoCal, California. South Kakalaka.
But yeah, so you'll do regional competitions, local competitions to make your teams, regional competitions, and then people go to nationals. And that's where all the badass cats.
So it's a straight affiliation, and they have like 2012 Slam is in Vegas.
Yes,
wow, that's crazy.
And
No idea.
Incredible. It's like the Woodstock of poetry. I mean, even if you don't like poetry, the vibe.
Yo, I'm sure it's like the buzz is crazy.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Wow. So, back to you.
So, rules.
Tangents.
Rules. No longer than 3 minutes. For every 30 seconds above 3 minutes you go, it's half a point off your score.
Okay.
There's 5 judges in the audience. They'll score you. They drop the highest and lowest.
So is it like 1 through 10 or?
Yeah, 1 through 10.
And they add the 3
point,
median
whatever,
in between.
9.1, 9 point, whatever. Yeah, and they add up the 3 middle scores. No props. And that can be like, depending on how serious the people around you are. Like I went to Southern Pride Regionals, and I did a poem about being Jewish, and I got a Jewish star tattoo. And at one point in the poem, I lifted up my sleeve, just showed the tattoo.
And that was the prop.
No, nobody said anything. It was all good. I actually wound up getting a perfect score, but the chick I was competing against on the other team from New Orleans came up afterwards. Like, I could talk to the judges. I would have been proud. She was very upset.
She's like, I'm going to get a cross tattooed on my neck right now.
Yeah, some people take it more seriously than others.
Yeah, she got a little
it has to be your own stuff. Nobody can have written your thing. You can do group pieces, but it still has to be 3 minutes. I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, I've heard that in Cali, which is surprising to me. My friends who are poets moved out there, and they said they went to slams that had no cursing or offensive language whatsoever. You couldn't offend anybody, which means like, how do you open your mouth?
Wow.
Well, I mean, yeah, someone's going to take it somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me ask you this. So when there's an event like a local or whatever, like you're in the college thing and they're having the South Carolina Slam battle, right? Or whatever it is. So is it like an all-day thing where you just keep progressing if your score is the best?
Sure.
Is it set up like a tournament?
Yep.
Names are drawn out of a hat and they like put it up or whatever?
So like each round, are you doing different pieces or is it like the same?
Nice question.
You get 3 rounds.
Right.
No. Okay, each competition is each person from your team goes once. So there's 4 people to a team.
Okay.
And that's all. And you have to have 4 people to have a team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to have 4 people to have a team.
And you can't rotate them throughout that. Like, say your team, you got 10 people in the Charleston, whatever. It has to be that same 4 all
your
day.
Your team is your team.
Okay.
Yeah, they got to be registered and all that.
Okay.
And you'll go back and forth. One person from your team will go, one person from their team, blah, 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 back and forth. And I guess the highest total score goes on. And I think you had to lose like twice. So it wasn't just direct elimination.
Oh, it's not. Okay, it's not. Yeah, it's not
you
single
had to lose,
elimination.
I think, twice to be dropped out of the tournament.
So to get a team in, you have to be like accredited or recognized by some organization.
I don't even know. When we went up for Charleston, they forgot to announce our name. We had to stand up in the crowd. Like, oh, Charleston's in the house. So our school didn't fund us or support us or anything. We just kind of raised some money and hopped in a car and went up there.
Rode out.
It was in Westchester, Pennsylvania. It was amazing. 150 poets in a Holiday Inn. All night with poets. It was fantastic. Man.
So usually, like, they're doing the Brooklyn Slam competition, and I'm like, yo, me, Bliss, you, Megs, we're going.
Yes.
We could show up, and they'd have to, like, admit us, anybody who comes, or they're like, nah, you're not recognized.
You got to register and pay something for a team. So the New Eurekan has a team.
Okay.
I think that place down in the Bowery has a team.
But I'm saying if we just
Bowery
had a
Poetry
name
Club.
and paid the fee and filled the paperwork out, we could get in.
I don't see why not.
Okay.
I've never tried to register a team, but I can't see.
I wasn't sure if they're like people scouted in. They're like, yo, came to see you one night. They're like, team.
So
sucks."
so like when you're preparing for a competition, what do you do? Just like prep like 4 pieces, you know, that you're gonna perform, or you just like, I got 2, these are my best 2, fuck it, you know.
Well, you need 3.
You need 3.
You have to have 3.
Okay.
When I went to nationals and all that, you didn't need 3 because you only get to go once per round or whatever. But when you're doing the individual stuff to get on the team, like at the New Eurekan, one of their slams, the slams are 3 rounds. So if you make it to the second round, you need a poem to spit. If you make it to the third round, you need another poem to spit.
So you got 4 people on the team. Now, is it always like you know, you're running like the 400 relay with 4 people? You know what I mean? You always have Usain Bolt going for it. Do you have? I mean, could somebody who's hot that day just go all day and the other 3 don't have to, or everybody has to go? Okay, all right. And do you always know like you have the best person first or last?
There's various different strategies to that. I never really understood them. But we got a team captain, and the team captain figures that out. And there's even strategy to what poem you spit when. Like if somebody right before you did a poem about,
you switch it up.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, that's just too close to my shit. I'm not fucking with it.
Yeah. Or if your thing might, like they did like a anti-war, a pro-war poem or something. You got some good anti-war poem. You might want to just come back with that or something. Like that.
Like in your face with the anti.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
It can be aggressive.
I like it.
Yeah.
And now, how is like when the stage is set up? Is there any rules about like you can't cross this line and get in someone's face?
It's not like it's not like you got served or one of them like dancing.
Yeah, damn, that's what I was hoping. That's what I was hoping. You know what I mean?
I wish it was like that'd be very cool. To
Damn.
like spit in somebody's face.
Yeah,
But
smack
nah,
somebody's
you get-
toothpick out the mouth.
Nah, you get the stage to yourself.
Pelvic
Nobody
thrusting.
else is out there with you.
How you like it?
Doing a Kenny Powers.
Nobody, unless it's a group piece, you're the only one on the stage. Nah, the other people aren't there with you.
So now, if you do a group piece, does that mean like all four are up and everybody gets whatever for 3 minutes?
It can be 2 people, it can be 3 people, it can be one, your whole team. It doesn't
So
matter.
in that gets scored the same way. So
Yeah.
I'm in one team, I go up by myself, and your team, you come up and do all 4 people.
Yeah.
So you judge one person against 4 people.
Yep.
See, that's
But
crazy.
they still have to spit 4 times. I mean, you gotta.
Right. I know. I
That
see
would
what you're
count
saying.
as one of their 4 poems
Right.
around.
I would think it would be a separate thing. Like, all right, it's the 4-on-4 battle. What's the 3-on-3
I
battle?
guess they're judging the poem though. So whether one person's reading it
Yeah.
or 4 people are reading it,
Right.
it's the same piece.
Oh, so it would be 4 people reading one poem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
they would, like,
Yeah.
maybe like
So
reading
you'd be
one
like, yo,
person
Maxwell's got the
or
illest
something.
poem. We'll all learn it, and we're just gonna spit it.
Generally, those are written like for collaboration. Like
Oh, like all 4
it'll
we
be
get
like
together. Yeah.
2 sides of an argument, or like somebody battling in their head, or something like that. You know,
Okay.
I've seen some really good.
Like in your experience, where have some of like what region of the country would you think has like I wouldn't say the best poetry, but is like a place where if you're a poet, you know,
That would be
I mean,
awesome.
are there like
No,
some
we got the best poetry.
Like-
Because I'm biased, so you know,
Like Minnesota's like, mwah.
because you said you had some boys that went out to California. Like is it like L.A. has like
It tends to be like the Northeast schools in Cali, in the college and in the pro leagues. Tri-state area up here and Cali are the ones who win it all the time.
right,
New Orleans has a nasty team, that's what they did
right.
back in the day.
I wonder if it gels with like schools that have creative writing programs.
It's not a.
That would make sense.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, our school didn't sponsor the team. They didn't know anything about it. We just our team captain happened to be really into that.
Now, when you get to the pros, though, are teams sponsored? Do they make money? Are they
I don't know
sponsored?
who
Like
would
brought to you by
sponsor
Kellogg's?
something like that.
You know what I
Or
mean?
are those guys just like publishing and stuff? You
The
know,
best
I
high
bet
school
they are.
kids,
I
not a
bet
lot
they
of
are
money in
publishing.
there.
Right.
Yeah, there isn't a lot.
But I would think, I mean, it sounds like a big event. Like if you do the Slam National in Vegas or Brooklyn, New York, or wherever it is, like it sounds like a big event.
well, you can
Someone
always do a verse
gotta
like
be
on a house
sponsorships.
song.
I tell you,
That's
when I
always
went to-
available.
That's true.
I went
know.
to Southern Fried Regionals, which is the one before Nationals. It's
Southern
like
Fried
whole-
Regionals.
Yeah, it's like whole Southeast, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida.
Yeah.
They all come up to compete there, and we did it in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
And it was very, I guess the word would be bootleg. It was not set up.
Shit was
Like,
straight bootleg.
The teams were out
She was
on
in a
the sideline,
KFC.
like,
She was in a
pulling people in,
KFC. Southern Fried Originals and Southern Fried Recipe. Was sponsored today. Brought to you by
like, we were pulling in judges. Like, we just need people, like, tourists off the street. Like, yo, come listen to some poetry.
people in the
We're
drive-through.
judges.
People in the drive-through. Like, can you stop? We'll give you an extra biscuit if you just listen to some poetry.
Paper in the room.
Yeah. A lot of the other poets were judges
Damn.
at other competitions. Like, it wasn't a huge event, so I don't know that there were sponsors like that. But
Right.
there was funding. Where it came from, I don't probably one of them national endowment for the arts things, actually.
Right.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think Red Bull is.
No, yeah, they're not lying.
They're not lying.
We'll give you wings,
Maybe
baby.
for
Not yet.
nationals.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Not yet.
I don't know who would sponsor something like that.
Shit, anybody that thinks they
Webster's?
can make money and get promotions on it. You know what I
Webster's
mean?
Dictionary.
I mean, Def Jam kind of made it big.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Poetry Jam.
That's right.
Before that, nobody even knew.
So what do you think about that whole thing?
Def
I
Jam.
think it's great. I
Yeah.
think it
Yeah.
brought notoriety to it, and a lot of the cats that you see at nationals and college nationals are on that show.
Yeah.
And I've known a few people that were on there.
Okay.
Yo, I gotta agree with that Def Poetry Jam stuff. I used to watch it because I don't know any of the artists, but then like every once in a while they would have like somebody like come on, and before he died, Gregory Isaacs did one. Out of control.
You have a lot of MCs come on, too.
It was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like Mos Def and Talib was on? And, you know
CeeLo
what I mean?
came on. and
CeeLo.
ripped it up. Yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely a bunch of
I'm a big
artists.
fan of that.
I don't think so.
I think that leans a little more towards the hip hop side.
Yeah, yeah,
It's,
yeah.
anything for exposure.
I'll tell you who was on there who was ill. I don't know if he's known as like a slam poet or, I mean, he does everything. He's an actor. I know he's done movies with, you know, the white dude from like Brooklyn. He's got a big nose. He's in tons of movies. I'm just saying,
Let
huh?
me see. Adrian.
No,
Brody.
not Adrian Brody.
White and big nose.
No.
From Brooklyn.
We need some more description.
He's what the fuck was he in? He's been in tons of like,
The older.
you know, man. He's been in tons of films, but he definitely started as like he's had like a one man show type of thing. The fuck is his name? He's mad talented.
Robert
mad
Klein?
Talented. Definitely not Robert Klein.
Was he in the Spike Lee joint? Was he one of the pizzeria guys?
No. He's not John Turturro.
Not
John
John
Turturro.
Turturro.
So I ran into him in the house. It's a little Star Trek.
You ran into him where?
I like that dude. I had to stop you.
Where'd you run into him?
I like your work. In Brooklyn, right by my
Yeah, he lives.
office.
He's from Brooklyn. He lives in Brooklyn for sure.
Very cool.
I love John Turturro. Definitely. I can't remember who the guy's name is. Anyway, we're not gonna hold the podcast for that.
We will resume the podcast when we figure out who this large
Puerto Rican Paulie D. Yes, sir. What's up, player?
Yeah.
So yes, no sponsor, not really.
So are you still active right now? Are you on a team? Or you?
I'm not active. I wrote a piece not long ago for an event that a friend of mine was hosting at an art gallery. And
Okay.
that was
You
the most
performed it?
recent thing I wrote. Yeah, I performed it. That was really cool. Although I don't think anybody really understood it. It was very Spanish-speaking audience.
Oh.
Oh.
And not only did I do it in English, but I went a little hard on the vocab.
Yeah, it
I
was
was getting
good.
some blank stares.
Was it like
It's
a dice
on
gallery
YouTube.
event?
It wasn't like
No.
some Soho shit.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, okay.
definitely not.
Yeah,
Right,
shouts out to the NARS gallery.
And Buen Dia. That's
Yeah.
your man.
Yeah.
That was a good event. Mine was real good. And they spit their stuff in Spanish, and I didn't understand it, so it was easy.
Now let me ask you this. This is the big question I always have, and I always like joke about it, whatever. But is it just what and I'm not saying every poet sounds like this, but is it just something that all these poets fall into? But like that, what did you call it? Like that tone that the poetry voice, the.
Went out at night, I stretched my arms to grips the sky, but you just passed nary an eye, but winking on such on the fly, but we keep it on the low though.
On the low, though.
Ebb and flow as the tides with the moon full in your sunrise, and do I try to improvise off the top, I cannot peak.
But do you see me when I speak? Wind chimes.
Walk softly, walk softly, walk softly.
Walk soft, girl.
I gotta admit, like, there was a time in my life I used to spit that shit, and originally I gotta, to be fully honest, I was really disrespectful. I used to go to poetry open mics.
You're like, what's up, nerds?
No, straight up. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? This shit ain't, because I was like deep into rhyming, and it was a point that I wasn't with a group or affiliated, so I was seriously just looking for mic time. You know what I mean? Like, you get that performance bug and stuff. You do like 2 or 3 shows a month for like a couple years, and then that shit's done. You're like, what the fuck am I gonna do, man? That's part of my identity. So you start showing up at open mics. Shouts out to Epitome.
Oh shit! The black bean quesadilla.
Yeah. But I was
underneath, right?
I was always mad disrespectful because like Gab was saying, I only heard that intonation and that inflection.
Yeah, man.
And it just kind of bothered me.
I always made fun of people like that. I have a friend of mine. She's like a published poet. Like I grew up in the Berg with her. She's Mexican. She's ill and whatever. But she came out to New York and like I just wouldn't leave it alone. I was like, you are a poet, and you don't even know it. But there is, listen, I love poetry. I think poetry is awesome. I mean, I'm an MC. I write rhymes. It's like I've written a few poems here and there and stuff like that. But it's just like when I hear that exact same kind of cadence and delivery, I'm just like, yo, come on, man. Somebody come with something new.
Yeah.
Somebody give me something new, baby. You guys have been doing this forever. Like, why is everybody falling into the mix?
Yeah. So talking about writing, what is your process like? Like when you're developing a piece and all that.
Before I actually, I would speak to Gavin and say that yes, there is a constant looming danger of falling into cliches easily.
And are poets conscious of that?
I don't know. I don't.
Are you conscious of it?
I've never worried about it too much because it wouldn't go with my thing really, and I think I'd feel weird doing a poem like that. I think I was expecting you to go to the more classical, like an autumn leaf,
right,
on a tree.
Nah, I mean that's. I didn't go to that class.
Like
right. I missed that class.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm more like just seeing I'm more of like the new progressive, like like the Def Jam,
like Love Jones.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Love Jones.
You know what I mean?
Love
like
Jones.
people who are more like
Love
the newer
Jones.
style, like not like Thoreau or you know what I mean?
But
Thoreau's a poet, right?
Yeah.
Boom! Give me some points, guys.
That was an obscure
You like that one? Boom, get it done. Yeah, we threw all up in this bitch.
Eights in there and shit.
Yeah, no doubt, there's some 8s up in that piece. Shit, 16s, whatevs.
There's also things that are cliche, like topics, like you always hear the same metaphors, and like, you know,
Right.
Yeah.
my heart is a burning cauldron, and your eyes are diamonds, and just a lot of BS out there.
That is the one thing that I do love. Like, there have been poets that I've heard that are like, even though they have that like cliche delivery and sound, like they come from an angle.
Yes.
And listen, I'm a writer like hip hop. I've written like, I do a lot of storytelling, and I try to like do some different shit that's not just like, we hanging on the block or we doing whatever. Like
That's what I do.
That's what he does. He does hang on the block.
I do hanging on the block.
He does hang on the block hip hop. I get a little deeper, but you know, this is what he is.
I'm superficial.
We accept him regardless. But it's like there are times I hear someone and I'm like, I'm totally past the cadence and the delivery. I'm like, what? And they'll get to the end of it and you're like, oh shit, you were talking about that with your foot talking? Like, oh shit, I didn't know about that. Like, oh my God, or whatever. And I'm just like amazed at like how some poets' brains think and how they can like convey that message. You know what I mean? It blows me away. There are definitely poets that are like mad ill.
It occurs to me, I think the common thread between like a good poet and a good rapper is the ability to take the thought that's in your mind and express it very clearly.
No question.
You know?
No
A
question.
lot of people can say some cool stuff and have some, you know, cool metaphors, but like, you know, ideas are very specific, and a lot of people use generalities and
No
vague
doubt.
stuff, and if you can pinpoint that
The details, but details too. You know what I mean? Like it's very when it's not like you're saying generalities. I mean, if you can really hit details, like for instance, I'm not sure about your process or whatever. Like I read like a storytelling thing. I'm like, all right, I want to do, you know, it's whatever. Like it's a, you know, chick that's, you know, she's a fucking single mother. She has to strip and go to school and do whatever. And that's just a thought in my head. And then everything about it. You know what I mean? Like where she grew up and how her mother died and how, you know what I mean, where she ended up working and how she has a babysitter. And it's just like all the things that just come out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once you get into it. Like I think that's people who are writers. Like I wouldn't consider myself a writer, but it takes over me. Like it writes itself. Like once I start, like it's gone.
That's
like
why
it's gone.
Choose to emphasize.
Yeah, no
that
doubt.
Story too. Yeah.
And how often do you write?
Man, lately once every 2 years or so. When a chick pisses me off.
We gotta bring some chicks in here.
So,
I mean, listen, we got a couple of chicks out there come in and smack you around. All right? We disrespect you, we can get a poem.
Now, I found, like, I dabbled a little bit, and I know one thing that differentiates, like, when I'm writing or attempting to write poetry versus writing raps and stuff, exclusively when it comes to poetry, it's personal. Like, it's something that I've experienced, and it's something that's personal to me. I can write raps and throw in a persona and stuff. Is that something common? Is poetry almost exclusively usually like a personal thing, or do you find that you find like these avant-garde guys that do like point of view things and stuff?
Wow, that is a fucking amazing question.
That is a really good question.
Wow.
I'd say you see less. I won't say you see less persona, but you see definitely a lot more personal because it's that person and they're there. It's not an album. It's not being performed.
Right.
There's not music to hide behind it. It's you and the audience. So it's a lot easier to speak. If you're not the thing that you're talking about, it's going to be really easy to see it.
Right. Okay.
I've always thought, honestly, too, like when you see poetry, always seems like very. Excuse me, like there are MCs. You'll see a song, you're like, you got like, Ghosts, talking, him and the Mary J joint. He's talking about, 3 in the bed, 4 at the head. You know what I mean? I want to sleep with Johnny P. the bed, like all that shit. And you're like, oh my God, like that could be a poem, no problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like poetry for me, it always seems like very personal. You know what I mean? Very personal. Like it's very. When you see some hip hop artists and they're just like, "Where the bench is at? Where the bench is at?"
Got condo on my wrist, girl. I'm cashing out.
Cashing out.
Condo on my neck, girl. I'm cashing out.
I'm cashing out.
That's personal.
Like this team right here, can we get it done, man?
Personal. That's real. That's real.
Because music. I think a lot of the time is meant to have a good time. Like when you hear it, you want to bounce your head and whatnot. Because poetry's not after that, and you're not necessarily trying to entertain people or make people forget about their daily problems. You want them to think. So you generally say stuff that involves thought.
So,
if you did a poem about superficial stuff, like these new rap songs, if you did like a chicken noodle soup and a soda on the side as a poem,
right,
it'd probably be boring as hell. Whereas as a song, it's catchy and entertaining. But as a poem, it would just be like, what the hell is this person talking about?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's like those songs. Like, I think most times those songs, like Chicken Noodle Soup or whatever, like, those songs are catchy, but it's all the music. Like, people don't give a shit. People don't give a shit. And that's why, you know, people are just like, I can't just bump my head and not think about shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. When you really can't do that with
purple
poetry.
swag, that purple swag, purple swag, that purple swag, purple swag, that purple swag.
Or even Mercy. The only good thing about Mercy is the beat. The lyrics aren't that good.
Lamborghini, Mercy, yo chick shit so thirsty. I'm in that 2-seat Lambo with your girl, she trying to jerk me.
Who is that?
When we were in Florida, it was
up on that ad. It's by Kanye West, 2 Chainz, Big Sean, Pusha T. Yeah. It's off the good music. 1.5 million units sold. You know,
I can't hate, man. Do you think get that bread?
Song of the summer, definitely the song of the summer.
I always felt like poetry is about whatever the poet's observing. I mean, even if it's not directly happening to them. So I always feel like it is hard to be superficial when it's something they see or they notice or they're experiencing.
Like something, something connected to them.
There's nothing distracting it, you know. And every word, there's no extra words in a poem. Like every word.
No throwaway words.
Yeah, there's no kind of throwaway. There's
I like it.
Junk. Everything has a purpose, you know.
But there's, I mean, and it's not. You're right. It is very purposeful, but it's not always serious. I think that.
Yeah, I don't think it's always serious.
There's like this reflexive stereotype that like poetry is deep and profound and thoughtful, and so when people like go out to look for poetry or poets, they're looking for that and judge good poetry as that.
Right.
But at the competitions, all the competitions, I heard some of the goofiest, funniest, make you laugh, you know.
Right.
But then there was also a lot of make you cry.
So generally, like, who you generally wins them though? Is it somebody who's like super deep and super emotional?
The crier wins, and that's a strategy. Cause
it's in there.
It's like the Oscars.
Listen, you're like beat DMX and you're gonna win.
Yeah, you gotta be bold to do one that makes people laugh.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, you could, I mean, and it's kind of cliche and not to, you know, take anything away from any of the large women out there, but there's always, I mean, that's a cliche poem, you know, there's a big girl comes off and it's, you know, it's automatically high points.
Right.
Cries on stage. So and you know, it's honest and sometimes it's really good,
man.
but there's always that poem.
There was always the abortion poem. There was always the abortion poem.
There's an abusive parent poem.
There's the your body is like a food, sex poem. There's always that shit.
Eating disorder poem. That's a good one.
Oh my god, yo, that shit sucks.
Drug addiction poem. There's like a lot of
a million breakup poems.
They all suck.
I want crack now. Actually, I can't finish this poem. Actually, I just came here to score. Is that my song crack?
No, I really do want crack now.
Someone else is like, me too. It's like, you got something? Someone's like, came here.
This is an AA meeting.
Oh man. So, but yeah, like when you get started, so you kind of joked about like you'll write next time a girl fucks with you or whatever. So a lot of your pieces, are they sparked from these kind of, I wouldn't call them like crisis events, but like big personal events that'll push you into poetry? Is that like
a big personal event is always a good start for a poem, but like you can't count on that because who knows how often something deep's gonna happen. I'd say generally my general process is I find the first line that I like.
Yeah.
Might start with like 2 words or just the first line and everything gets built up.
So was this something that started up in college? Like when was your poetry like sparked? When you were like, okay, I can like start expressing these things in lines. Was this something like prior to college?
When I was in like, young, like, you know, middle school and elementary school, I used to write that crappy like, you know, adolescent angst poetry crap. You know, exactly the cliche like, life is a burning cauldron. You know,
she tore the heart out of my soul.
Just all that crap. But it was never anything. I never showed it to anybody. It was just like under my pillow kind of thing. And I never thought anything about it. It kind of stopped after a while and then hadn't written anything through like high school and then college. And then junior year of college, I saw just this little tiny flyer on the wall for Poetry Slam. And I was like, it was just a cool looking flyer. And I was like, that sounds cool. I'll give that a try. And like went and wrote this thing for the stage, and it was horrible. And I went up there on the stage with my piece of paper and read, and it was shaking like a leaf. And you could hear the paper like,
wow.
I was about to cry.
Shaking like a leaf or this paper.
Yeah, it was so bad.
Freestyle, you just put it in there.
Yeah. And then like out of spite for myself, like I know I can do this better than that. I went and did it again. God damn, was that hard.
Hard stuff. All right. Well, before let's get in.
Let's get into some poetry.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna get into a little bit. Like before we let my man Maxwell spit, I wanted to just sort of do a reading. I got a bunch of lyrics here. I'll only pull one song, but to me, again, it kind of it really sort of solidifies the link.
So this is a hip. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is should be a song somebody will recognize.
Yeah.
But I'll try to abstract it.
Name the song.
Abstract it a little bit. All right. Rappers. I monkey flip 'em with the funky rhythm. I be kicking. Musician, infliction, composition. Off pain, I'm like Scarface. Sniffing cocaine. Holding an M16, see with the pen, I'm extreme. Now, bullet holes left in my peepholes. I'm suited up with street clothes. Hand me a 9, I'll defeat foes. Y'all know my stilo, with or without the airplay. I keep some E and J sitting bent up
in the stairway.
Or either on the corner betting grants with the CeeLo chance, laughing at the bases, trying to sell me some broken amps. G-Packs, get off quick. Forever, niggas talk shit, reminiscing about the last time the task force flipped. Niggas be running through the block shooting. Time to start the revolution. Catch a body, head for Houston. Once they caught us off guard, the MAC-10 was in the grass, and I ran like a cheetah with thoughts of an assassin. Picked the Mac up, told the brothers back up, the Mac spit. Lead was hitting niggas when ran, I made them backflip. Heard a few chicks scream, my arm shook, couldn't look, gave another squeeze, heard it click. Yo, my shit is stuck. Tried to cock it, it wouldn't shoot, now I'm in danger. Finally pulled it back, saw 3 bullets caught up in the chamber. So now I'm jetting to the building lobby. It was full of children, probably couldn't see as high as I be. So what you saying? It's like the game ain't the same. Got younger niggas pulling triggers, bringing fame to the name. And claim some corners, cruise without guns or gorners. In broad daylight, sticker kids, they run up on us. 4 5s and gauges, max. In fact, some niggas will catch a back-to-back, snatching your cracks in black. There's a snitch on the block, getting niggas knocked, so hold your stash till the coke price drops. I know this crackhead who said she likes to smoke nice rock. And if it's good, she'll bring your customers a measuring box. But yo, you gotta slide on vacation. Inside information keeps large niggas erasing and their wives basing. It drops deep as it does in my breath. I never sleep. Because sleep is the cousin of death. I never sleep, because sleep is the cousin of death. Beyond the walls of intelligence, life is defined, I think, a crime when I'm in a New York state of mind. And that's why, no matter how much bullshit Nas makes, seriously, that first album,
no doubt,
you just break out the lyrics, it's awesome.
Let me tell you right now, if Robert De Niro never made a movie after Taxi Driver or made 400 shitty movies, would Taxi Driver suck?
Right.
No, it wouldn't suck.
Right.
It's still an amazing film. With the Godfather, Al Pacino, all these films. Listen, they can do fucking Dick Tracy and he can be the shark in Shark Tank or whatever the fuck the name of the animation. I don't give a shit. You do some good shit, that shit weighs up.
And the whole reason for
relax, Maxwell.
For this episode, we're gonna let my man Maxwell spit. But the whole reason for this is, if you're a fan of hip hop, right? Don't go away. There's still MCs out there.
There definitely is.
But please remember, lyrics matter. I know it's a production game right now. Y'all are getting gassed off of producers.
That's a good motto.
You know what I mean? Like, you guys are just getting gassed off producers, and there was a time where lyrics do matter.
Lyrics reign.
I was gonna do like some Andre 3000 because that brother goes fucking ham.
He goes in.
I mean, he's one of my kind of like guys that he don't even rap no more. To me, it is spoken word.
Right.
Just his cadences. You know what I mean? Like that shit he did on Aquemini, Return of the Gangster. Just like the whole like flow was just fucking. retarded. But
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
This is a hip hop question.
Yeah.
I'm about to show my ignorance by asking this. What the hell does ham mean? Is it
hard as a motherfucker. Hard as a
There's
motherfucker.
the
I'm going hard as a
second
motherfucker.
A. There's a lot of gaps in this ham thing.
There is a few gaps. You know what I mean?
But I heard it a lot, and before, in other search terms I haven't wanted to see. I guess I wait till I broadcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Call it out in front of
Yo, the
all
second that
of
shit
us.
came out, everybody couldn't wait to use that shit. I knew like 10 chicks that were like, oh, I was hanging out the other night and we was going ham. I was like, y'all ate ham? Where the fuck y'all in the jelly? She's like, nah, we was at the club going ham, baby. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I first heard it on Xbox Live. I was no, I'm dead ass serious.
Hold on, were you linked to somebody else?
Yeah. I was playing Left 4 Dead with these British cats.
Oh, that's
and I was down murking zombies.
That was so ham-like.
No. He was
so ham. I'm going ham.
He's like, we got a ranger on the team. He's going ham. I swear to God.
I'm going ham.
We got a ranger on the team. He's going ham.
What are they talking about you?
They're talking about me getting it
British accent
fucking
is
done,
rough,
dude.
yeah.
Those
British
people
accent.
in
on
Great
beef,
love
Charles.
you.
All right, pip,
I don't really have
going
one.
ham.
Oh,
All right, mate. All right, mate. It's fucking brilliant. All right.
All right, mate. That's
All right,
fucking
mate,
brilliant.
I'm fucking
All right.
ham, man.
Oh.
Give us a pint, man. I'm gonna go fucking ham.
Oh my God! Did you see the opening ceremonies, man?
Yo, what did you try to do? A British Jamaican?
I know. It always goes, hey, man.
Was that Usain Bolt spelling too much?
They don't eat the swine. They don't
Oh,
ham.
buddy.
They go turkey ham.
All right, man. I'm going ham. Jig up.
All right. So Maxwell, if
Me well.
you wanna do a little.
The floor is yours,
I'm
my
gonna
friend.
do a little something.
Okay. Do you want to preface it like what?
No, fuck disclaimers.
There you go.
Okay,
Go
so-
I always
straight
say
in.
that in poetry. No disclaimers. Shut that shit up. Just spit.
All right.
Alright. I'm not a junkie, but the monkey on my back is. This furry little savage is ravenous and cavernous, insatiable and appetite and fiending for a fix. I feed him liquor blunts and chips straight to liver, lungs, and hips, 'cause he's charming when he's lit, but oh so vicious when he's sick, nasty, needy, nervous tick. Spittle caked on crusty lips, gritty city scent of shit and tattered tux that doesn't fit. Come and see me in your local subway station. 'Cause I am not a violent man, but beware the junkie's rage. Let the monkey out its cage, subway platform for a stage. See me bloodshot, wild-eyed, demented and depraved, gyrate to unheard rhythms in stuttered fits and waves, gesticulating, spitting as I carry on and rave, cursing heaven, earth, and grave, and heralding the end of days. Then see me spent and breathless, red, collapsing to the ground. Have a stranger take a picture with your buddies gathered round, shoulders heaving up and down, heart race panting as it pounds, sweaty grimace fading slow to a twitchy furrowed frown, walls and ceiling closing round as the hunger presses down. I am an army of eager appetites, crawling, pawing, gnawing, biting neck and shoulders first, but spreading over everything a quenchless bitter thirst. Feed me some more, see more, and I am not an animal, but a junkie has no name, doesn't know its own reflection in a filthy mirrored pain, simply primal in its passion and oblivious to shame, ever seeking, ever hunting, ever more elusive prey for a high that doesn't fade, doesn't tease and then betray, as if with every step the prize is moved 2 steps away. There will be hell to pay. See me pole dance on the D-train, clutching knuckles white, fending off the demon hordes and spoiling for a fight. On your mark, get set, take flight. I'll be your schizophrenic, grinning, shit-faced captain for the night. Now if you look to your right, you'll see me gnaw the crossbar, see me humping empty seats, see me puking, piss and shit myself and howling in my sleep. A junkie's pride sells cheap, and please believe this desperate need supersedes all sense of right or wrong. Any fear of hell or prison that I might have had is gone. I am a hungry, hungry hippo on a mission going strong. I will slice the senior citizen. I'll snatch your mama's purse. Come up off that wedding ring and come up out that shirt. I give a fuck what it's worth. This is how addiction works. See, for a feeble little fix, I will shoot you in the face, where I will firebomb this place if I can't get a tiny taste. So come see me now, disgrace myself and pimp my body out. Watch as I degrade myself for pennies on the pound, then see me go to rehab and watch me try to kick. See me sweat and shake the night away all pasty-faced and sick, and see me go to counseling and see me bare my soul. See me sneaking out the window after midnight in the cold, then see me relapse on a park bench all gluttonous with glee, convulsing, foaming at the mouth, eyes rolling back as I OD.
Oh!
Oh, I got goosebumps on my fucking arm. I got fucking the hair on my neck if I didn't shave it when I faded myself up earlier. Yo, kid, that was incredible.
Thank you, sir.
That was incredible. And I'm not just saying that. If that shit sucked, I'm like, yeah.
She was,
Yeah.
that shit was awesome. So that was about abortion, right?
It's not the political situation in Nicaragua.
Yo, can't believe your mama beat you like that. That was rough.
Nah, that was great.
Honestly, man, that was incredible.
So what sparked that? Was that a scene that was so fucking vivid? I saw that motherfucker.
I saw like the
writhing on the ground.
and stealing somebody's wedding ring and like, yo, it was crazy.
I totally saw fucking Larry Fishburne in Jungle Fever. Straight up, I saw Gator in Jungle Fever and shit, man.
It was two things. I started a long time ago, like I had been sitting in a subway and straight up crazy angry junkie just cursing out the I-beam like, what? You know, like, damn, dog. And he was just flipping out and I wrote like a little, you know, like 3 sentences just, and it was nothing that was in that poem, but it was something, you know, just noting his insane anger. And then I went to write a poem about my own addictions. Like that started off like liquor, blunts, and chips was supposed to be about me, like, you know, a little bit of booze,
crazy.
Smoke ganja, smoke cigarettes.
Man
or
said
whatnot.
I feed it liquor, blunts, and chips.
But
what did it take?
Then I figured, I mean, I don't know, it got away from me.
Your delivery is sick, kid. Like the way you slow it down and speed it up and get the bed and crazy. That's crazy.
You can talk them words, man.
I do speaks them goods worse. And
yeah, you know them talkies, man.
Well,
I think on that note.
Yeah, on that note, we're gonna close it out. You got any words of encouragement for anybody that's looking to try and write poetry or anything?
I like hearing the lyrics matter, yeah.
Lyrics matter.
Lyrics reign supreme.
All right. Any
last words?
I know you like Saul Williams.
I do like Saul Williams. I mean, I think a lot of poetry or any kind of writing.
I like Serena Williams.
I'm
just putting that out there.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, before we
shouts to Corey.
Yeah. Shouts out to my cousin Corey Goff, Coco, the #1 8-year-old tennis player.
Baby Venus.
I think she should be Baby Serena since Serena just won the
She
gold.
went ham at the Little Mo's tournament up at Forest Hills. You know.
Yeah, she's the #1 8-year-old tennis player in the country, y'all.
Yeah, that's deep. She's gonna be going to regionals in a month and then nationals after that. She just took the international.
That's awesome.
She's doing well. So shouts out to her. Yeah, she's doing well. 8 years old.
Big ups.
Fucking practices and works out more than me. It's crazy.
And if you want to get at us, it's at Brooklyn Props, on Twitter and brooklynprops@gmail.com if you got any questions or comments.
Hashtag We Eat Fish.
We eat fish, toss salads, and make rap ballads.
Oh shit, I forgot. Shouts out to F What You Heard, guys. We're gonna see you in a month.
F What You Heard, yeah, we're gonna see you guys in a hot sec.
We're gonna see you guys in a month. Big up to them. And the Extended Pan, Buen Dia, Brooklyn, everybody. Peace.
One.
Oh, how do you stop this?
Yeah, well played, guys.